when I tried to change my lifestyle, none of my friends and family were that interested in me kind of going on and on about it all the time. And so my blog and my Instagram was a way to just have a bit of a creative outlet. Hey guys, welcome to my first Q&A video. I get asked quite a lot of the same questions, and so I thought it might be helpful to make a video in order to answer some of the most popular ones. And I also asked some of you guys on Instagram story to send in a few, and I got some really great questions. Gonna answer some of them here, and hopefully we'll do more of these videos. So make sure that you let me know any questions that you want answering, and I will do my best to answer them very soon. So these are all a bit random, there's not kind of a method to them, but we'll start with the first one, which is how long were you practicing before you started teaching? So a lot of people ask me questions about going to do a yoga teacher training, so I'm going to do a whole video based on that in a couple of weeks, hopefully. But I was practicing yoga regularly for a couple of years, maybe 18 months to 2 years before I went and did my teacher training. But I definitely wouldn't use that as a rule. I think it's really individual. If you're going to go and do a training, it's when you're ready. And as long as you're feeling excited and ready for it, then there's no right or wrong time or no length of time that you should have been practicing for before you go ahead and do it, because we're all so different and it means very different things to each of us. The next one is another yoga one. So how do you develop a home practice? This is something that I actually find really difficult myself, and I have to be in the right state of mind to be able to do a practice at home, mainly because that's where there are lots of distractions. I have my laptop, I can see if there's washing up to be done. So one of the things I found really helpful for this was actually to practice at home using YouTube videos or yoga video subscription websites, because it helped me to familiarize myself with practicing in my home, which can feel really different to being in a studio. So that would be my top tip. And then once you get used to practicing in the space, it becomes a little bit easier to get into the mindset to do your own practice. And also it gives you an idea of the way in which you might want to move your body when you're doing it. But my other tip is also that don't worry about too many rules around the practice. The best way to practice at home is just to put on some music and kind of move in a way that feels really natural in your body. So the next one is, what is your favorite snack for on the go? This one I find really hard to answer. I don't tend to snack as much when I'm out the house because I often come back to the flat kind of in between classes and things, but I love energy balls. I think there's so many great recipes out there, and there's now some amazing brands that do them, which you can buy, and they're all healthy ingredients and they're really good for energy on the go. Dates and nut butter, difficult to transport, but I always take them in a little Tupperware. Any of the energy bars, especially the ones that have got a little bit of protein in that you can pick up, are great. But I'm always just quite careful to read the ingredients because some of them have lots of sugar and things in them which you don't need. Otherwise, a piece of fruit or a little thing of nuts is a great thing to have on the go. It really depends what else you're doing with your day and what you're eating throughout the day, but those are some of my favourites. Okay, this is a good one at this time of year. So what do you do to make yourself feel better after you've spent a little bit of time not eating how you might normally? So I think the person that sent this one in said that over Christmas they felt like they'd been really enjoying eating lots of food and not worrying about what they were eating and drinking. But over a couple of weeks it actually didn't make them feel very well. And I definitely did similar sort of thing over Christmas. I was much more relaxed about what I ate. I still tried to eat within the things that make me feel good as much as possible. But I did feel like I was much more lethargic. I'd had some wine and things that over time start to make me feel a bit bloated. And so the best thing that I find for getting yourself back to feeling good is to find a little bit of a routine. So getting back to introducing all of your favourite foods that make you feel really good into your day and making sure that you're drinking lots of water. That is the best way to kind of rehydrate, to help your body get rid of anything that's not making it feel so good. For me, that is my number one go-to medicine. I always carry this bottle around with me. And yeah, so lots of water, getting back to eating lots of nutritious food. If you've been enjoying all kinds of food, yeah, getting back to things that make you feel good and moving your body in some way or another. Don't worry about going back and hitting the gym and making yourself feel like you're really sweating everything out. Just be kind to your body and ease your way back in if you've had a few weeks out, and over time you should get back to feeling really good and strong again. The next one is a bit of a different one. It's why did you start your blog? So Mind Body Bowl came about when I had to change my lifestyle because I wasn't feeling very well, kind of like we were just talking about. I was eating and drinking in a way that didn't suit my body and made me feel really unwell. I was exhausted, and when I tried to change my lifestyle, none of my friends and family were that interested in me kind of going on and on about it all the time. And so my blog and my Instagram was a way to just have a bit of a creative outlet. And originally I didn't expect anyone to read it or didn't expect anyone to interact with me, but over time it became a really supportive community, which is definitely what it is now. And this was a couple of years ago. It's now so much more normal to be conscious about the way we're living, which is a really exciting movement. But yeah, that's how it came about for me. The last one, how often should you practice yoga? So I taught a class of absolute beginners this morning, and this was something that we talked about. There isn't a right or wrong answer. Some people feel that to be like a true yogi, you have to be practicing every single day. And actually, I really believe that sometimes we all need a rest and we all need days where we're not moving our body, particularly if we enjoy more strenuous types of yoga. But this really comes down to you and to what makes you feel good. And yoga doesn't have to be your physical asana practice. For me, even if I'm not getting on my mat to practice every day, I try to meditate and do something for myself every day, and that forms part of my yoga practice. So whether or not you practice once or 7 times a week, it really comes down to you. The more that you practice, the more you'll start to notice your body opening up, and the more you might be able to settle the mind. But it comes over time, and there's no hard or fast rule, so it's really about connecting to yourself. I hope that answers a few of your questions. If you have any more, then please leave them in the box below, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking here. If you want more videos like this, then you can see them here. And if you want to check out my blog, then the link is here.